Twin Lakes Park that the Orioles, it was almost like a college course. They gave them a little bit today and a little more the next day and a little more the next day, and they didn't throw it all at them at once, but to try to help them understand what they were going to do with the data to help Oriole pitchers get better on the farm. And we saw strikeout rates go up this year, and I mean, they really take each individual specific guy and target what's going to make him better over the course of a season and give him specific milestones to hit, if you will. And then in addition to that, the teams in the minors this year really worked hard at scouting their opponents and using a scouting report to pitch well and win. They're going to need to do it here, so they need to learn to do it there.
Now, Steve, with the drafting and signing of Adley Rutschman as the #1 pick in the entire draft, what did that do for the status of the Orioles minors overall?
I mean, it took it up big time, Tom. I mean, they basically went from number 22-ish to number 8 or 9 now in baseball, top 10 farm system, which we haven't seen in Baltimore for many, many years. So obviously when you pick 1-1 and you get a player that could be, I say could be, that generational talent, switch hitting catcher, who's a great defender as well, that's going to drag everything up a little bit. But I think this was coming, Tom, over the last few years. It didn't all happen this year, but clearly Mike Elias and his staff took it to another level this year. But some of this was building, and Mike Elias himself has said he believes that Gary Racich, Dan Duquette did a really good job, especially drafting young pitching the last couple years, and then they took that talent and took it to another level in 2019.
How about the international signings? How much did that give a boost to the Orioles organization?
You know, probably not yet in the rankings. We're not seeing a lot of Oriole International prospects in those top 30 lists yet, but we're going to, hopefully over time. That's what the team needs to do because, Tom, the math tells us that 30% of Major League clubhouses are made up of international-born players. So this year, the Orioles signed their biggest international amateur class ever, a whole lot of 16-year-old kids. Get them as soon as you can. At 16, that's as early as you can sign them. Get them in the system. They might play 2 or 3 years in the Dominican Summer League. Then they make their way to the States. But the best teams in baseball are doing this very well, Tom, and have for years. So if the Orioles want to eventually try to be on the level of the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Astros, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and many others, they've got to get back to a strong international program. And they took a big step forward in that regard this season.
Well, Steve, as always, we appreciate the great information. Look forward to chatting with you in the not-too-distant future. Steve Melewski there in Toronto analyzing some of the things the Orioles did in the minors.